Today I'm going to tell you one of the coolest Brother Grimm stories called the Glass Coffin, and it's not the glass coffin Snow White was in. It's still got an unconscious woman in it though, but it's so much cooler than that. A tailor's apprentice is out traveling, but he's in the woods and it becomes nighttime and he gets super scared. He's cold and he's alone, he doesn't want to get attacked by a wild animal, so he climbs up into a tree, and in the tree he sees that there is a hut, some kind of shelter with light inside it, so he's like, ooh, I'll go there and ask for help. Gets to the house and it's woven together from reeds and rushes. A white-haired old man answers the door and our guy's like, can I please stay the night with you? And he's like, no, go away. But our dude falls down and grabs his coat and is so scared of the wilderness that he just begs, please, please, God, let me stay. And the old man feels sorry for him, so he's like, okay, fine. Our dude sleeps sweetly till morning, but then he hears a noise in the morning and he goes outside to see a stag fighting a bull, and they're just going at it. As the ground shook with their cries until finally the stag wins, kills the bull, but then the stag bounds toward our tailor, picks him up in his antlers and takes off. And the tailor's like, no, where are you taking me? Put me down. And then finally they get to this big rock face by this mountain and the stag does put him down. And it pushes with its horns against this rock and a door springs open and the tailor's like, flames shoot out and there's a bunch of smoke and the tailor's like, I think I'm gonna leave. But then this voice from inside is like, no, come inside. No evil will befall thee. And he feels kind of drawn inside against his own will, and so he goes inside the cave. There are letters etched into the rock that are totally unknown to him as he walks in, and it's huge and spacious. And the voice says, step on a stone in the middle of this corridor and great fortune will come. And so our dude steps on it. The stone under him sinks down and he goes with it like an elevator into this whole new cavern. Now the wall here has a bunch of like hollows, like shelves, and there are glasses on it that have weird bluish vapor moving around inside them. On the floor are two glass chests. The first one is like a whole kingdom underneath glass. The other one is a beautiful maiden, and a detail about her is her hair is so long that it's wrapped around her, and that's all she's wearing. She's just wrapped in her hair. You can tell she's alive because he can see that she's breathing. He's looking down at her, and then suddenly her eyes open and she's awake, and he is terrified and she's stunned, and she says, oh my God, my savior's finally here. Quick, let me out of this prison. So he gets the glass off and she runs quickly to a corner of the hall and puts on a large cloak because she was naked, remember. She gives him a friendly kiss on the lips and says, my long desired deliverer, seat thyself and listen to the story of my life. I feel like that's how I am when I meet most people. Seat thyself. Listen to the story of my life. She's the rich daughter of a count. Her parents died when she was young, so she and her older brother grew up together, just took care of each other. It says that they both got along so well and their temperaments matched so perfectly and they so loved living together that they just decided they were never gonna get married. They always had friends over, they always had great company and parties. One day, this strange dude shows up and he asks for shelter for the night and they give it to him. Partly because he's really polite and he's really interesting and has good conversation at dinner. They show him to his room, she goes to her room really tired and wanting to go to bed because they stayed up late, when suddenly she hears this strange music that wakes her up, and when she tries to talk, she has no voice, nothing comes out. The stranger walks into her room even though the doors were bolted. He says, hey, I want you, I'm offering you my hand and my heart. And she's like, no! Well, she doesn't say no because she can't talk. So she literally just stares him down, like, And it says that he remained for a while standing there, apparently with the idea that he would eventually get a favorable answer. But she said, I continued to keep silent, and then he angrily declared he would revenge himself and find means to punish my pride. So he leaves, and when she wakes up, she looks for her brother, and all the servants are like, oh, he rode off with that new stranger. And she's like, oh God. So she gets on a horse and just gallops into the forest looking for her brother. Then suddenly she sees the stranger walking toward her slowly, leading a stag by a cord. The stag is crying, like tears flowing out of its eyes, and the stranger is laughing. Amazing, horrific detail. Well, our girl pulls out a freaking gun and she tries to shoot the bad guy, but the bullet just rebounds off of his chest and hits her horse in the head, so her horse falls down dead. The evil dude stands over her, mutters some words that force her into unconsciousness, and when she wakes up, she's trapped in the glass coffin. The evil dude is standing over her and he's like, hey, that stag was your brother, I transformed him, but I'll change him back and I'll let you out of this coffin if you agree to marry me. I also transformed all of your people and your entire town into this tiny little village, also trapped in glass, and I won't free them unless you marry me. And the people are not inside the glass, they're actually in those bottles that our dude saw when he first came in, like the vapor in the bottles. Those are all the people who lived there, like their souls. She said, I answered him as little as I had done the first time, meaning she just stares at him. Like, no. He vanishes in a rage, a deep sleep comes upon her, and while she sleeps, she has this dream that someone's gonna come rescue her, and then our dude does. So she says, help me get the glass off of this place. And so they get off the other glass and it suddenly grows and gets like right-sized, and this huge village / kingdom is now there. And then she's like, okay, let's go save the people. So they go into the room with all the glass jars and bottles and they open them up and people spring out of the vapor. They go outside and she sees her brother in his human form coming toward her. He's been freed as well. He's not a stag anymore. And that bull he killed at the beginning of the story, that was the evil magician guy transformed, so he's dead. The last line is that she gave her hand at the altar to the lucky tailor, and man, he really was lucky. I just love this story, and it's so underrated. It's got such cool, creepy details. It would be so great for it to be like reimagined into a book or a movie. Maybe I should do it. Or if you're inspired, you do it. And check out the book I have written that is a reimagining of a Brother Grimm story, The Shoes That Were Danced to Pieces, or The 12 Dancing Princesses. And as always, check out my podcast, Folk Tales and Fairy Lore. Link is in the bio.